Robbie,
Yes?
are you getting revved up? What's happening over there?
I am.
Hi guys, my name is Matthew Swanson. I am not feeling revved up, which is why at this hour I've created a cup of coffee by
Is that what that is?
by pressing hot water through ground beans, and I'm hoping that it will. Although I read recently that it takes 20 minutes for the effect of coffee to kick in, so set your timer and see if at 1:22 p.m. I suddenly become more delightful to you, or more loud to you, or more unbearable to you. Well, I can't imagine that one of those three things won't happen when I complete this cup of coffee. Robbie?
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for 20 minutes.
This is the Robbie. No. In the meantime, you're going to have to carry the load.
In the meantime, I'm going to tell you some news.
What?
It's non-agenda news. It's not agenda related.
Have you looked at the agenda to make sure that I didn't include your news on the agenda?
I haven't.
What is the news?
The news is this.
What?
I recently got off the phone with Bob, my dad.
Bob is Robbie's dad.
My dad, who never has anything nice to say about anything.
What did he have to say that was nice about who?
Bob said
Yes.
that the cake we dropped off
must
have been made by a bakery, perhaps by our friend Darren, who is an actual baker.
Who made that cake?
He wanted to know who made that cake, and I said, Matthew made the cake, and he said, no.
He didn't believe it was possible that
Yes, and he said, that cake was amazing. It was so delicious. I could not figure out where you could have possibly gotten such a fantastic cake.
This is a strategy. This is Bob's way of tricking me into making another cake through flattery. Because I'm so used to Bob saying things like, Matthew, try harder, use the right vocabulary, use the better grammar. And I aspire to be liked by Bob.
I mean, you have made a number of cakes for Bob that he's eaten and he's enjoyed.
But this one blew the roof off.
Yes.
Huh? Did he use any?
He was almost speechless.
What did he describe? Like, what aspect of the cake was most delightful to Bob?
He didn't say.
Oh.
But the fact that he was like, I was pretty sure that it was made by your friend Darren. That I was like, wow.
Darren is a professional baker.
Yes.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. I may not ever come back to this show again. I may just be making cakes because my cakes are that special that
there you
Bob.
Go. I thought that might
I would
give
also
you a little zip.
Like to point out that Bob would be delighted by a piece of tree bark with a little bit of jam on it.
But
Bob's tastes are very simple.
His tastes are very simple. He will eat anything.
Yes.
With little complaint. However, it takes something extraordinary in order for him to compliment.
I see.
Right?
So it's easy to bring him up to like 60%.
Yeah.
But taking him all the way to 99.
Taking him all the way to paying an actual compliment.
Yeah.
That's
true.
Yeah, very difficult.
Bob spends compliments as if each one were $1,000 bill. Like he's like, oh.
And the way that he spends $2, $1 bills should give you a sense of how. Yes.
Okay. Anyway,
this is all about Bob.
I didn't
know
this.
But I thought it might give you a little spring in your step.
No. This is all about Matthew. Okay, all right. Bob was merely a prop.
Yes.
To pay me a compliment. Yes. And I appreciate that at the outset of this show. Thank you.
I thought it might work as well as a cup of coffee.
Well, right now my eyes are vibrating slightly the way they do when they're incredibly tired. So I hope that I'm able to let us lean upon the agenda.
All right.
It is like a crutch to help my feeble self across the expanse known as the next 25 minutes. Really, the next 55 minutes, if you want to be honest.
You're making it sound like this is such a horrible, difficult thing to do.
Heck no. Yeah. I'm saying that I did not come equipped for primetime today. The week of Imaginary and Mythical Creatures begins. It's hard to read backwards through a sheet of paper sometimes.
Why don't you look at there?
I don't want to. No, because then I have to look around it. I have to look around it. I don't want to do that. I want to hold this up and make it mighty. June 8th, 2020.
More difficult. Plain old hellos.
Okay. I mean, sometimes we've been getting a little fancy. We've been just getting a little off the beaten track of just saying hello to you. Hello, friends. Hello. None of this howdy dude or howdy doody dude.
We were trying to start a movement.
I understand that we were trying to start a movement.
You can't start a movement by giving up a week later.
I've given up. I just want to say a plain old hello. And, frankly, I want to play the theme song. I want to play the Robbie and Matthew theme song.
All right.
None of the specialized theme songs. Just the plain old theme song. Okay? If we're going to have a show, we need to get viewers to have the self-confidence of saying, am I watching the right show? Where's that old jingle? Where's that standby sound?
The Robbie
Exactly.
and Matthew Show.
They came here for the Robbie and Matthew show. Now they know that they're in the right place. There was no other indication before then that they were in the right place. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, all of the people on the sidebar know that they're in the right place. They've been chatting with each other since the beginning.
How do you know that they're not bewildered and wondering, are we really in the right chat? Matthew apologizes
for agenda bungling.
I feel like somewhere along the way, I got the order of things inverted. For weeks, we've been drinking water and then listening to the theme song. That is not correct. You listen to the theme song to establish the show. When you watch a situation comedy on television, do they wait till halfway through the show to play the theme song and roll the credits? No!
Well...
No!
Well...
No!
Well...
What?
Sometimes if there's something super exciting that's going to happen in the show,
right,
they do a little prelude.
Robbie, we talked about cake. It wasn't super exciting.
A compliment from Bob is almost as frequent as like Haley's comment. So
I apologize
for agenda bungling.
Well,
come on. Wait. Oh, were you reading that you were going to apologize, or was that your apology?
Well, I apologize.
You should not apologize from behind a piece of paper.
I apologize.
This is a life lesson. If you're going to apologize, look the person in the eye and say, I'm so sorry.
Robbie, I think you're great.
Not like this.
I
not
think
like this.
Robbie,
nope.
I really like you.
Nope.
Robbie, I love you. You have no evidence that I said that because I was behind a piece of paper. I apologize for agenda bungling. Right here in your face, not behind a piece of paper. However, now that that's happened, we can drink water.
Yay,
now that the tone has been established. You know you're watching the Robbie and Matthew show. Now you can drink your water and feel good about hydration. Not confused and baffled like, where am I? What show am I watching while I drink this water? You know that you're drinking this water with us. Cheers.
Prost.
Jackety.
Dancing.
Thwackety. No, we're going to stick with what we know. We're going to stick with the good old tried and true Robbie and Matthew show. Jackety dancing, Prost. Robbie drinking slow. Matthew starting late and still drinking.
Wait.
Yes?
Since this is Old School Monday, as Jennifer
what's
pointed
happening?
out, I'm going to time you.
Oh.
I'm going to see if you're still up to snuff.
I'm not feeling strong.
You're not feeling strong?
All right, are you ready?
Wait.
All right.
On your marks. Get set. Go. What?
How'd I do?
2.86.
Oh, that's slow.
What?
I want to be faster than that.
I thought last time it was 2 point.
I don't know.
I
don't know. I don't feel like this is
Here
my.
Comes somebody.
All right. There's been a little bit of a breach of the sanctum. We'll see what happens. Announced theme, friends. I guess that's already been announced. It is the week of Imaginary and Mythological Creatures. I just want to say that gives you guys a lot of latitude.
There's lots of cool things to talk about and teach us about.
There are imaginary creatures that have been established by works of fiction, by movies, by the internet. There are mythological creatures that have been written about for ages untold. There's a lot that you can do. You can make up your own creature. No one says that it has to be one that already exists. Jasper, who's your favorite monster? Yeah, okay. There you go. The options are many. What does this say?
Announced theme. Congratulate all 4 children on completing their school years.
You guys, Alden Swanson finished her schoolwork today, which means that Alden, Kato, August, and Jasper are all done with school, and we are proud of them.
Yay!
Wait a second.
If Jasper doesn't come in, I get to come.
Oh my gosh. All right. Kato, congratulations in person for completing your work. Did you complete the math assignment? Okay, good. There was one rogue math assignment that was uncompleted. We have prepared what?
Clarity needed on the theme. Imaginary and mythical or mythological. So mythological, meaning that it comes from myths. So like the Gorgon would be mythological.
You just used the word myth and mythological in the same sentence, thereby affirming my point, which is that the distinction is not meaningful.
Well, I thought mythical meant made up, but not necessarily part of a mythology.
I would find
mythological means part of.
But I think what you said
accepted...
about mythical is the same as imaginary. So I think this is not a meaningful distinction.
No.
If there's
okay. I'm trying to explain to you the meaningful distinction. Imaginary, meaning just made up, like.
I understand that there's a distinction in those two words, but in terms of the theme, it's like saying anything in the Eastern Hemisphere or the Western Hemisphere. It's like anything in the world, basically,
that's made up.
That doesn't actually exist.
Okay.
We're just giving you categories of things that don't exist.
It doesn't need to be from set myths.
No.
But it could be if you wanted to.
No, you can say, I have a friend named Paco who's shaped like a clam, but he's invisible, and that can be your thing for this week. It's basically anything that exists beyond the realm of reality. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Jasper, can you go away?
No.
Okay. Well, I tried. All right. Okay, here we go. Congratulate the children. So we're going to have a special meal tonight. The children don't know what it is.
Ooh.
We've gathered the ingredients. We're excited to eat it ourselves. It's going to be delicious. What does that say? Matthew reads The Imaginary Dragon. You guys, it didn't occur to us when we were picking this last week, but we have a book that is the perfect book for a week about imaginary and mythical creatures, and that is The Imaginary Dragon.
What?
All right? Oh, I see.
What?
You know what, Jennifer?
Yes.
I'm just curious about the scrapbook box. Whatever's shorter for you, Jennifer. You get to decide the theme based on what fits on your block better. We are not going to be sticklers here.
I think you can just say imaginary creatures.
Imaginary creatures?
And
That's
that just
easier.
cover everything.
Because mythological fits inside of it.
Yeah.
All right, imaginary creatures,
Imaginary
Jennifer.
creatures.
Okay? Just for the sake. Oh, Jasper's so sad that I put him over there. But he's in my way. And, you know.
Wait, I want to demonstrate how sad
We're
he
running
is.
a Jasper, show us your quivering lower lip. Show us your quivering lower.
Oh, he's so sad.
Are you so sad? Oh, do you hear that sound? It's kind of like a door opening very slowly. Like a haunted house door. Where'd he go?
He's over there.
Oh, now he's sad over here. He can be sad in all sorts of places. Oh, there he is, still sad. Jasper. Oh, I saw. I saw a little bit of a smile, buddy. I think that might not be 100. Oh. All right, let's read this book, shall we?
All right.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Wait, but if you make sad sounds during the book, it will. Oh, he's totally not sad. He's totally over here grinning.
God's count.
Waylon asks if gods count. I think so.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yay.
Unless,
Imaginary.
oh, that gets really tricky though. If we're saying thing, and I'm not going to parse theology.
I
here.
have to sneeze, everyone.
Okay. 300 miles an hour? Will you sneeze at 300 miles an hour? Okay.
Am I imaginary?
All right. Are you imaginary?
Yeah, I'm in the video game.
No, you're legit. You're legit,
Okay.
dude. All right.
All right.
We're going to read this book now. I don't want any interruptions for any children who are either sad or imaginary. All right?
Oh, you just said I wasn't.
What?
You liar.
Well, no. If you're not imaginary, then don't feel
Don't
offended by that
interrupt.
comment. All right.
Neither.
The Imaginary Dragon by Matthew Non-Imaginary Swanson and illustrations by Robbie Legit Bear.
Yes.
All right? A dragon named Bill lived on top of a mountain that rose above a town full of busy, interesting people. Early each morning, Bill flew down to see what they were up to. Everyone in town did something important. The baker baked cinnamon rolls, the children went to school, and the king stood on his balcony, waving his scepter back and forth, telling everybody what to do. More than anything, Bill wanted to do something important. But since he didn't know what it might be, he lay on the bakery roof all day long, watching and waiting. One morning, a bossy bird named Morris landed on the end of Bill's nose. "Why are you lying there like a lump?" Morris said. "You're the worst dragon in the world." "Excuse me?" said Bill. "Dragons are supposed to breathe fire and kidnap princesses and sit on big piles of gold," said Morris, strutting back and forth on his bony bird feet. Bill thought about this. He could breathe fire, but usually chose not to because he thought it was rude. He certainly didn't want to kidnap anybody, and he couldn't think of anything more boring than gold. "It doesn't matter anyway," said Morris, "since dragons are imaginary." And with that, he flew off to be mean to somebody else. Bill thought about what Morris had said. He couldn't be imaginary. Could he? He glanced at his tail. It didn't look imaginary. He tapped his nose with his knuckles. It didn't feel imaginary. But Morris had said he was imaginary, and Morris was almost always right. Kata, can you make sure your brother's not doing something awful in my office?
Yeah, sure.
Bill decided to find someone else to ask. Bill went to the forest and found his best friend, Unicorn Pete. Pete was sad. "Morris said I was imaginary," said Pete, who looked like he was about to cry. "You too?" said Bill, handing Pete a tissue. "I don't know what to do," said Pete. Maybe we can be imaginary together, said Bill. I don't want to be friends with an imaginary dragon, said Pete. I'm going to find my friends Laura and Ronaldo. They're leprechauns. Can I come? Said Bill. No way, said Pete, leaving Bill all alone. Bill wanted to find out for sure whether or not he was imaginary, so he went to the town library and found a book about dragons. The very first line was, "Dragons are imaginary creatures." Bill showed the book to the librarian. "Is this true?" he asked. "Am I really imaginary?" "You sure are," said the librarian. "And since imaginary creatures aren't allowed to have library cards, I'm taking yours away." The librarian tore Bill's library card into tiny pieces. "Can I keep the pieces at least?" said Bill, on the verge of tears. "My real ears can't hear your imaginary words," the librarian said, as he scooted Bill out the door and slammed it shut behind him. Bill wandered miserably back to the forest. Being useless, lonely, and imaginary was so exhausting that Bill curled up in a pile of, can you take them out, dry leaves and went to sleep, hoping he'd feel better after a nap. He slept throughout the afternoon and night, and all through the next morning. When Bill finally woke up early the next afternoon, he was very hungry. There was a field of corn at the edge of the woods. Bill loved corn, but almost never ate it because it made him burp fire. "But since I'm imaginary, it won't hurt if I eat an ear or two," he thought. Before he knew it, Bill had eaten 357 ears of corn. He was almost glad to be imaginary, if it meant getting a chance to stuff his belly. But suddenly, Bill began to feel very queasy, so he went back to the forest to lie down. Before long, he heard a gigantic rumbling in his belly and let out a gigantic burp, which was followed by a gigantic fireball, which burned down a gigantic tree. Bill felt bad about the tree, but only for a second. Imaginary fireballs can only burn down imaginary trees, thought Bill, before eating another 893 ears of corn, burping 3 more fireballs, and burning down 3 more trees. Meanwhile, in town, the baker woke up with a yawn. He looked at his clock and saw that it was already well past lunchtime. "My cinnamon rolls!" the baker yelled, which woke up the children, who looked at their wristwatches and realized that they were very late for school. "We're very late for school!" they cried, which woke up the king, who looked out the window and saw that none of the people were doing what they were supposed to be doing. The king stood on his balcony and waved his scepter back and forth, but it was no use. Everyone was still in bed. This made the king so angry that he stormed down the stairs and got onto his horse without even changing out of his pajamas. The king summoned his 8 bravest soldiers and charged off at once, directly toward the center of smoke rising above the forest. When the king and his men found Bill, he was lying on his back, completely stuffed and surrounded by smoldering trees. "Go ahead and poke me with your swords and spears," said Bill. "It won't hurt a bit. I'm completely imaginary." To Bill's surprise, the king began to laugh. "Oh, what makes you think you're imaginary?" said the king. "A little bird told me," said Bill. "Plus, I read it in a book." "That's nonsense," said the king. "You're as real as the nose on my face." "I am?" said Bill. "Of course you are," said the king. "Every morning when you land on the bakery roof, you wake up the baker, who bakes the cinnamon rolls, which smell so good that it wakes up the children, who sing and shout on their way to school, which wakes me up, so that I can stand on my balcony, waving my scepter back and forth and telling everybody what to do." "I'm really not imaginary?" said Bill with surprise. "Of course you're not," said the king. "If you were imaginary, I wouldn't be waving my scepter at you, telling you what to do." "Oh," said Bill, suddenly quite pleased. "And what am I supposed to do?" "Stop burning down my forest and wake up the baker in the morning," said the king in a huff, before getting back on his horse and riding back to town to change out of his pajamas. Bill smiled. Not only was he not imaginary, but now he had something important to do. He had never felt so good in his life. To celebrate, he ate 147 more ears of corn and burped a tiny fireball that accidentally singed Morris's eyebrows. "Whoops," said Bill. Morris said nothing and flew away to be mean to somebody else. Early the next morning, Bill flew down to the bakery roof. A few minutes later, the children had nothing to say. This was about the cinnamon rolls. They started baking. A few minutes after that, that's when the children started singing and shouting. And a few minutes after that, the king appeared on the balcony. He looked right at Bill, and instead of waving his scepter, gave a little wink. Feeling very satisfied and extremely important, Bill went to the forest to tell Pete that dragons aren't imaginary, after all. But Pete wasn't there. As it turns out, unicorns really are imaginary. Dum 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 dum. All done. Hey, Kato, thank you, Kato, for turning the pages. Robbie, did you put Jasper?
He's in bed.
Oh, you know
Yay.
what? Right before the show is about to start, I said, "Hey, Robbie, let's let Jasper stay out." What's the worst that could happen? I guess we found out.
You know what? The worst that could happen did not happen, which was that Jasper would come on here and scream his lungs out. And
How did he?
The worst that could happen is that he caused the apocalypse.
That's true. He could have caused the apocalypse. Thank goodness he did not yet. Robbie, how did he take to the idea of going to bed?
He was fine. I think he was ready. He knows the drill.
All right, you, my friend, up, mama, down. We have only 7 minutes to run a workshop on how to make your own dragon. I know that some of you guys think you're old and cool and too cool to make dragons. You're wrong. Nobody's too cool to make dragons.
You were putting thoughts into people's heads.
Maybe I think I'm too cool to make a dragon.
I think so.
Not true. I have a piece of cardstock. Robbie has a piece of cardstock. Kato, do you want to make a dragon?
Sure.
Okay.
Wait,
Kato
I
has a piece. You did? Do you have your dragon?
You can make another one.
All right, Kato, you make a
guys,
dragon. I'm going to go look for
I'm putting a link in the sidebar,
come over with your mother.
which is to the directions on how to make this dragon. But we're gonna actually do it here, so you don't have to be too concerned.
It's
I'm
pretty
so
straightforward.
short.
Well, you're on the short. You're on the short stool as well.
You're also shorter than your mother. It's just a thing.
I have the short stool, and I'm okay.
All right, Mama.
Yes.
How are we going to do this?
Okay, so
You know
first,
what? I saw our scissors in the car. I'm not sure why, but if you're looking for your scissors, it might be because they're in the car. Should I go get them out of the car?
No, we have other scissors.
We do? That nice pair of white-handled scissors is what
I know. I should have.
I'm going to go get it. You guys make... I'm going to go get the scissors out of the car, and you guys make the dragon.
All right, so, oh boy, there are other scissors. I don't know why we have to go to the car for those scissors, but it's okay.
Folded hot dogs.
Hold on, hold your horses. Okay, so the link in the sidebar, yes, but let me please.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so here we go. Here's the directions. This is what the directions look like. Okay, so Kato, if you would like, you may.
Find a piece of heavy paper and fold it hot dog style.
Fold it hot dog style, okay, guys? So here we go. Easy first step. Fold it. This is hot dog style because you put your hot dog in here. All right?
No one puts their hamburger in here.
No one puts their hamburger in a long hot dog bun. Okay? So, hot dog style.
I need to make it so.
Everybody
I don't
do
have
that,
anywhere
please.
to do it, but in there.
Okay. So, this is what your folded piece of paper looks like. Now what, Kato?
Measure about 1/4 of the page down from the top, and starting with the folded edge, cut a straight line halfway across the page.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is, this is the folded edge, right?
Yep.
We're gonna take our scissors and we're gonna cut a straight line across. Since Matthew is still coming with the scissors, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use a different pair of scissors.
You have another pair of scissors?
I have some
black scissors.
I have some jaggedy scissors. This is gonna be even better.
Oh, it's gonna be like teeth.
It's gonna be like teeth.
We have some really jagged.
I know these are
kind of like loopy.
These are loopy scissors, but I'm gonna try it with these. You can do it with regular scissors, Kato.
Nah, I'm gonna.
I found them. Wait, why are you using those second-rate scissors?
Well, we were thinking it might make some cool teeth.
Oh, it might make some teeth things?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Well, where's yours, Matthew?
I gave it to Kato.
You can get another piece of paper. Okay, so, did you see what we did? It's a little hard to see. We cut about halfway through the paper, starting from the folded edge. Okay? All right.
So I think I did mine too high.
You can't do it too high.
Matter.
It's okay.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Fold the top flap back to make a triangle shape.
Okay, so what we're going to do is take the top flap and fold it. Ooh.
Do I make just one cut?
Yes.
And do I make it down or up?
Up. About 1/4 of the page down from the top.
Okay, so this is what we're doing, guys. So see how I did that? To make a little triangle.
Okay.
Okay.
Fold the bottom flap.
Wait.
Fold. Tell me when you're ready.
Okay, go ahead.
Fold the bottom flap back to make a triangle shape. Note, it works best if the bottom triangle is bigger than the upper one.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to fold this bottom one, and I made a bigger triangle, see, than my top one. You guys see that? Okay, so next,
you return the triangular flaps back to their original positions, turn the paper over, and fold along the creases in the opposite direction.
Okay, so do you guys understand that? We're basically going to flip the page over, and then just on the same fold, we're just making this fold backwards, okay? So it's just basically loosening up this folded piece right here, okay? So now, next step, Kato.
Open the card up like a tent.
Like a tent. Okay, so we've got it like this.
Press the top triangle down and inwards with your thumb.
Okay, this is a little tricky. What we're gonna do is
If
while this
anyone
is
knows
bent up like
origami,
this,
pretty much just do a reverse fold.
so you're just folding this joink, this piece in.
Okay, the teeth actually kind of did work.
Okay. And then you're gonna do the same with the other one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do the same thing with the bottom triangle. Okay? So it's a little hard to see, but you're basically folding this in like this.
When you're done, it should look something
Okay,
like
so
this.
yes, when you're done, it'll be folded inside like this. Okay? See that?
And then it's like teeth.
Then it's like teeth.
Wrong way. Yeah.
But then, now look at it like this. Okay? So that's going to be the mouth of your dragon. Okay, so just so that you can see the directions for that. Do the same thing with the bottom triangle. Close the folded paper like a card and rub the folded edges to reinforce the creases. Then open the paper as you would a book. Inside you'll find the dragon mouth. Now we're going to draw the rest of your dragon around the mouth. Okay? So I need a...
Do you want to see my dragon?
Oh, did Matthew already go?
I don't mess around.
All right.
All right, you guys, here we go.
Oh, that's pretty good. I love your dragon.
He has like crab hands. He's a crab dragon. And he has duck feet. He's a duck dragon, and he has very unusual eyes. He may be frog eyes. So he's a combination of various influences. In any case, but see how I can make him quack, 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 quack. This is very cool. Did you make this up, Robbie?
The body is like Chungus.
I did.
I love this activity. It's so cool.
Mixed with
see, look.
Chungus.
Oh,
the body
please,
is Chungus.
please never speak that name to me again in this place. See what I did, you guys? I just poked it backwards, and then I can make my dragon talk. I don't know what he has to say. Uh-oh, the show is over.
What?
It's time to go.
What?
But it's been a
1
pleasure.
minute over.
It's been a pleasure spending this time with you.
Mine. I just did it
Robbie,
super
you
quick.
didn't make your dragon talk.
Rah,
Rah, rah.
rah,
Nice.
rah, rah.
Now,
So-
dragons can be colored in, of course.
Yes.
Take some time.
I do like that the pattern scissors made kind of teeth for him.
Guys,
That
send us
worked.
pictures. You know our email address now. Send us pictures of your
Yes.
dragons. Show us that you care. We'll share your dragons with others. All right? Kato, I need you to relinquish the seat
Yes.
that
Yeah,
belongs
all right.
to the father.
We will
It's
see
my
you on the
seat.
other side.
Bring us.
Go to
We'll
the
show
next
this in the next show if you
All
want
right.
to. But please.
And stream.
Please. Rise, and flee.
Stream. And stream. And stream.
And stream. Wait, why are you ending the stream?
Because it's done, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.